While the Allies hated German machine guns in World War II for their incredibly high rate of fire, the Germans, on the other hand, hated the incredible power of the M2 Browning and its 50 BMG cartridge. After all, it didn't get nicknames like Meat Chopper and Krautmower for nothing. But the real story is actually much darker and, well, as you could imagine after being hit by such a round, more gruesome. Okay, so let's go back now and explain why and how what would turn out to be the M2 was created. In World War I, it was realized how important effective machine guns were, but during that time, machine guns were firing the same ammunition as infantry rifles. And as new wonders of the battlefield emerged, like the first armored planes and tanks, they showed the need for something with a heavier punch. So, General John Pershing specifically demanded a new machine gun that could destroy these things much more effectively than the .30 caliber machine guns they had. That request was given to John Browning, America's most famous gun designer. He got the requirements to create a new machine gun that would fire a half-inch round at a velocity over 2,700 feet per second, which was a significant jump from anything he had designed before. He then took his already reliable M1917 .30 caliber water-cooled machine gun and basically scaled it up to fire a new, much larger cartridge. That new cartridge was also a scaled-up version of the .30-06, with a specific request to be rimless for smoother feeding, and with some inspiration from the captured German 13.2mm anti-tank rifle cartridge. It became the 50 BMG, or 12.7 by 99mm. They didn't know it at the time, but they had created one of the most effective cartridges that was soon about to have plenty of use on the battlefield. After some back and forth, the first prototype was ready for testing, and soon entered production as the M1921, a water-cooled heavy machine gun intended mostly for anti-aircraft use. It was then tested to see where else it could be used, and at first, it wasn't looking very promising. Infantrymen couldn't handle it, as it was too heavy to carry, weighing about 120 pounds in the water-cooled version, or 84 pounds for the lighter air-cooled model, with the tripod adding another 44 pounds. So a complete ground setup ranging between 130 and 170 pounds, plus all the ammo for it, which also wasn't light, was not giving a promising future. Not to mention, it had substantial recoil, making it difficult to fire accurately. Smaller aircraft of the time also couldn't make much use of it, and for vehicle use, mounted in early small turrets, it was also problematic, as it could be fed only from the left side. So, at first, the only real use was as an anti-aircraft coastal gun, but no one could imagine just how everything would soon change. John Browning passed away in 1926, but development continued and his design was refined. Internal parts were changed, so the feeding could be quickly switched between left or right side feed by changing the top cover, and a universal receiver was developed on which could be mounted either a water-cooled barrel with its jacket, a heavy air-cooled barrel, or a light air-cooled barrel for aircraft use. This concept now began looking promising, and with other smaller improvements, the gun got the designation M2 Browning machine gun. During this time, other nations had turned to heavier weapons like 20 or 30mm cannons, but the Americans believed the 50 caliber's high velocity and adaptability would still make it effective, so it stayed in production. And just how effective it would be was now going to be found out as the new global conflict began, and the M2 turned into the legendary Mar-Deuce, 50 caliber, or just 50, as soldiers would soon be calling it. Mar-Deuce, if you didn't know, was coined from the words mother and deuce, meaning two, something like mother of machine guns, and it turned out to be quite close to that. Now, as World War II broke out, the United States already had M2s serving in multiple roles: fixed aircraft